what's going on with Israel and Gaza, what's going on with Ukraine and Russia. It can easily escalate.
But it's thousands of people. It's not millions of people.
For now. Yeah, but if it escalates into a hot war where it's involving the entire world.
What would really cause a tremendous amount of danger is something that's not really artificial intelligence. It was invented when I was a child, which is atomic weapons.
Right.
I remember when I was like 5 or 6, we'd actually go outside, put our hands behind our back to protect us from a nuclear war.
Yeah, drills.
And actually, it seemed to work. We're still here, so...
Do you remember those things where they tell kids to get under the desk?
Yes, that's right. We went under the desk and put our...
Which is hilarious, as if a desk is going to protect you from a nuclear bomb.
Right, but that's not AI.
Right. No, but AI applied to nuclear weapons makes them significantly more dangerous. And isn't one of the problems with AI is that AI will find a solution to a problem. Say if you have AI running your military and AI says, what do you want me to do? And you say, well, I'd like to take over Taiwan. And AI says, well, this is how to do it. And it just implements it with no morals, no thought of any sort of diplomacy or just force.
Right. Hasn't happened yet. Because we do have people in charge, and the people are enhanced with AI, and AI can actually help us to avoid that kind of problem by thinking through the implications of different solutions.
Sure, if it has some sort of autonomy. But if we get to the point where one superpower has AI, artificial general intelligence, and the other one doesn't, how much of a significant advantage would that be?
I mean, I do think there are problems. Basically, there's problems with intelligence, and we'd like to say stupid. But actually, it's better to be intelligent. I believe it's better to have greater
overall
intelligence.
Sure, right. But my question was, if there's a race to achieve AGI, how close is this race? Is it neck and neck? Who's at the lead, and how much capital is being put into these companies that are at the lead, and whoever achieves it first, if that is under the control of a government, it's completely dependent upon what are the morals and ethics of that government. What's the Constitution? What if it happens in China? What if it happens in Russia? What if it happens somewhere other than the United States? And even if it does happen in the United States, who's controlling it?
I mean, the knowledge of how to create these things is pretty widespread. It's not like somebody can just capitalize on a way to do it and nobody else understands it. Knowledge of how to create a large language model or how to create the type of chips that would enable you to create this is actually pretty widespread.
Mm-hmm. So do you think essentially the competition is pretty even in all the countries currently? Yeah. And there's also probably espionage. There's espionage where they're stealing information and sharing information and selling information.
And in terms of differences, the United States actually has superior AI compared to other places.
Well, that's good for us.
I mean, we're actually way ahead of China, I would say.
Right, but China has a way of figuring out what we're doing and copying it. They're pretty good at that.
They have been, yeah.
Yeah. So do you have any concern whatsoever in the idea that AI gets in the hands of the wrong people? So when it first gets implemented, that's the big problem, is before it exists, before artificial general intelligence really exists, it doesn't, and then it does, and who has it? And then once it does, can that AGI stop other people from getting it? Can you program it to make sure? Can you sabotage grids? Can you do whatever you can to take down the internet in these opposing places? Could you inject their computations with viruses? What could you do to stop other people from getting to where you're at if you have an infinitely superior intelligence? First,
if that's what your goal is, then yes, you could do that.
Are you worried about that at all? Do you,
yes, I worry about it.
What is your main worry when you worry about the implementation of artificial intelligence? What's your main worry?
I mean, I'm worried if people who have a destructive idea of how to use these capabilities get into control.
Right.
And that could happen. And I've got a chapter in the book about perils that are like what we're talking about.
And what do you think that could look like if the wrong people got a hold of this technology?
Well, if you look at actually who controls atomic weapons, which is not AI, it's some of the worst people in the world.
Right.
And if you were to ask people right after we used 2 atomic weapons within a week, 80 years ago, what's the likelihood that we're going to go another 80 years and not have that happen again? Everybody would say 0.
Right. Right.
But it actually has happened.
Shockingly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think there's actually some message there.
Mutual assured destruction. But the thing is, would artificial general intelligence...
But that has not happened.
Right. It has not happened yet. But would artificial general intelligence in the control of the wrong people negate that mutually assured destruction that keeps people from doing things? Obviously, we did drop bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Right.
We did. We did indiscriminately kill who knows how many hundreds of thousands of people with those weapons. We did it. And if human beings were capable of doing it because no one else had it, if artificial general intelligence reaches that sentient level and is in control of the wrong people, what's to stop them from doing... There's no mutually assured destruction if you're the one who's got it. You're the only one who's got it. And you possibly... My concern is that whoever gets it could possibly stop it from being spread everywhere else and control it completely. And then you're looking at a completely dystopian world.